Okay, let's set up some email accounts. So this is a question I get asked a lot when I teach this class is, do I need to set up email accounts? And the answer is a big, huge, giant no. You do not need to create a whole bunch of email accounts. You don't even need to create one email account. Um, I'm only showing you this because I get asked it a lot, so I wanted to go over it in case you want to do it. And two, because you can. You can create email accounts. It's a service that is with your hosting package. So if you want to do it, you can. I do it. I find it to be a really useful thing to do for the way I like to run my stuff, but you may not. If you have a perfectly good a perfectly good email account through like Gmail or several of the other free ones, and people know that email account of yours, then keep it. Keep using that. Advertise that as your main contact info. That's the only real reason to do this, is to advertise contact info. A lot of people don't want to manage multiple email accounts because it can get time consuming. I have a whole system of the way I manage the 10 or 15 email accounts that I have to manage. That makes it very efficient. And maybe someday I'll make a class just on managing multiple email accounts efficiently. But that's not this class. So that is a long about way of saying, if you don't have a need for more email accounts, then skip it. Don't do it. Should you want to make email accounts, it's pretty easy. So let's walk through how to do it. We're in the cPanel, and our first icon here is email accounts. Let's click that. Okay, now it says make some email accounts. So type in whatever you want here. This we can't change because this is the domain name that we've set up. So it can be whatever you want at your domain name. So let's make one that says Steve. For my friend Steve, I don't know. I just give it a password. Oh, and it's saying that's not a good password. Gotta be certain strong. Now the quota. The quota is how much size is set aside for the mail account. Think about, let's say someone emails you a video and it's big. It's like a big video. All of that stuff, that video sits on your server space that you're hosting, that you're renting through Bluehost, and it takes up space. So that video is sitting there. Every email message you get takes up space. Little tiny bits of space for most messages because they're just text. It's really small. But it does add up after a while. So you can limit how much space this mailbox is given, and when you get enough mail to go over that much space, it will start rejecting those mail, or that mail. So it'll start kicking it back to the sender saying, this person's out of space. So you can set it to 250 megs, or you can type in whatever you want. But remember, with our hosting plan, we have unlimited space. So we could just say unlimited, meaning never let it fill. It'll just always be accumulating stuff. And that's what I usually do. I almost set everything as unlimited. I'm going to say create account. Okay, Steve at J. Anthony Allen. Now I can go down here, and these are the email accounts I have. Here's Steve at J. Anthony Allen down here. I have some options. I can change the password, can change the quota, the size. I can delete the account, or if I click this more, I can go right into the webmail here, or I can set up an email client. Now an email client is for me, it's this down here. It's Mac Mail. Thunderbird, what's the Microsoft one? Entourage, I think? I forget. But those are all mail clients that you can set up if you want. This will walk you through the setup process. But this is the webmail. That'll look just like, Gmail kind of thing. It's a bit uglier, but you can do it through here. So I'm going to delete this Steve at janthonyallen.com because I don't really have anyone named Steve that works for me. But these ones that I do have set up, this is what I do. I have j at janthonyallen.com. It's my main professional email address that I use for everything. I have sales@janthonyallen.com, and what that does is I have like PayPal and stuff like that set up to it so that receipts and things like that. When someone buys something from my website, I get a notice comes to me from sales@janthonyallen.com and also goes to the person that buys it, sends them a receipt automatically. So it's just handy. Assistant is for on occasion when I have an intern or sometimes I hire an assistant for projects I'm working on. I need to set them up an email account. Find it easier just to create one called Assistant that they use and hand off. So the contact email address this is a weird one. This is just kind of a goofy trick I figured out. You don't have to do this. I find it useful and somewhat entertaining. When you set up a website, you're going to get a lot of spam. I mean, you're going to get more spam than you used to. It's fine. I mean, it's not going to be overbearing. It's just, your name is associated with a website now. What's going to happen is that some of these like spam robot things that are designed to like look around the internet for email addresses, they're going to see your domain name, and then they're going to try to send email to a bunch of stuff before your domain name. They're going to try stuff like info@your domain name. They're going to send a bunch of email to that. And if it comes back and says there's no info@janthonyallen.com email address, it's going to say, okay. And it's going to try another one. It's going to try admin@janthonyallen.com. And one of the ones it's going to try is contact@janthonyallen.com. It's going to try contact at your email or at your account. So what I do is I create one called contact, and I give it a smaller quota so that this is going to get full and not that long. Usually this is empty only because I just created this account, right? Normally this is huge. So I'm actually going to change this quota to something really small, 2 megs. Okay. Now this is only 2 megs. In a couple weeks, this is going to fill. And when it fills, I'll see here that it's full. And then what's going to happen is every time these little spam robots send spam to contact@janthonyallen.com, it's going to get shot right back to him saying, his mailbox is full. And it's kind of my like dumb little retaliation to spam because they spam me and I'm going to automatically spam them right back with a mailbox full message. So basically, you're going to get spam to this address. So I just make the account and say, okay, have it. Like I just give that one away to the spammers and I don't use it for anything. Now you may have noticed I did have to use it to create some info for my website. So I had to go through my old account, delete some stuff from it to make enough space to get that one last message I needed. If you saw me do that, that's what I was doing when I was getting the verification emails, because those were automatically going to my contact because that's what I had registered as my main communication route with my old company. That's kind of confusing. If that doesn't make any sense, just don't worry about it. I just give this one away, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, so if you want to check webmail, you can get to it from right here. Access webmail. You can also go back to your cPanel, and you can get to it from right here. You can also, there's a third way usually, and I think what you can do is, if you go to webmail.yourdomainname.com, you can usually get to the webmail for your accounts there. Now, the webmail is basically just like if you don't know what webmail is, it's a way to read your email just online. It's if you use Yahoo or Gmail or anything like that, you're always in like a webmail system. It's probably the way you read email. If you don't have an email client like I have set up, that's how you read your email as a webmail. So this will get you there. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, so it's going to look like this. I got to log in to the email address, and then I'll be able to see it and get into it. Okay, so that's email accounts. You can set up as many as you want. Unlimited amount of them come with your hosting plan, and you have an unlimited amount of space. So if you want to set up multiple accounts, set them up. If you don't have any need to create multiple accounts, don't set them up. Keep your life simple if you can. So just use your Gmail or whatever you want to use. That is just fine. Okay, let's move on.